Hello, everyone, and we are live. And I can see many attendees are starting to join in. We are excited to welcome you here. I'm Chetna Kapoor from Seed Global Education. We are a UK headquartered company that facilitates connections between leading global universities and prospective students like yourselves. Our mission is to connect aspiring students like you with faculty and admissions teams from top universities, allowing you to explore the programs they offer and make informed decisions about your higher education or career goals. For those who are already here, if you could quickly post in the chat which city or country you're dialing in from, that would be really helpful for us to understand where you're coming from in the chat section. If you can just quickly, we have people from Africa, Mumbai, Ethiopia. There are a lot of people joining from Kenya, Lagos, and Mumbai and different parts of India. Yes. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by the St. John's University Peter J. Tobin College of Business. Located in the New York metropolitan area, Tobin College of Business is known for its strong industry partnerships and commitment to innovation, preparing students to excel in global business. The MBA program is ranked 33 by US News and World Report, and its alumni have secured roles at top firms like AIG, Amazon, Deloitte, EY, JP Morgan, and PwC. With a mission rooted in Vincentian values, the university emphasizes academic excellence, social justice, and service, fostering a diverse community dedicated to making a meaningful impact in both professional and societal arenas. Welcome to today's masterclass on navigating the evolving landscape of data science and analytics. This is a topic I'm incredibly excited to explore because data science and analytics are constantly evolving, and understanding where they're headed is key to staying ahead of the curve. In this session, we'll dive into the future of data science, from new techniques and technologies to the growing importance of real time analytics and machine learning. We'll also discuss the emerging trends that are shaping industries across the globe and how you can leverage these insights to drive innovation. Whether you're just starting in data science or you're looking to refine your expertise, this masterclass will equip you with the knowledge to navigate the future of this dynamic field with confidence. Let me quickly introduce you to today's panelists: Dr. Sharp, Director of the MS in Business Analytics program and Professor at St. John's University's Tobin College of Business. With nearly 35 years in academia, Dr. Sharp has taught at various renowned institutions. Her research focuses on time series analysis, marketing models, and women entrepreneurs. She also served as the Dean of the Tobin College of Business and brings a wealth of expertise to today's discussion. Welcome, Dr. Sharp. We are also joined by Amber, Director of Graduate Admission at St. John's University. With extensive experience in graduate enrollment management, Amber has leading recruitment efforts at St. John's since 2018. She's played a key role in enhancing admission strategies and attracting a diverse pool of applicants, helping to boost enrollment significantly. We are thrilled to have her with us today to share her insights. Welcome, Amber. Before we get started, here's a quick question for the audience. We'll be launching a poll on your screens. Please take the next 30 seconds to respond to that. And the poll should be on your screen right now. What is your biggest concern regarding the future of AI in data science? Is it job displacement, ethical implications, lack of regulation, data privacy, or any other reason that you can think of? I will give you 10 to 15 seconds to cast your vote so that we can have a better understanding of where this topic goes. I think we should end the poll now and see what the crowd thinks. And job displacement being the maximum, like the biggest concern in people's mind, along with data privacy. So I'm sure Dr. Sharp is going to like delve into these things. Let's get started with the session. Dr. Sharp, over to you.
Thank you so much for that introduction, and welcome everyone. I am speaking to you from New York City, from the center of Manhattan. I apologize. You may hear ambulances going by and honking noises. There's always a lot of traffic in the city. It's a very urban area, so I apologize for there may be some background noise. So let me get started. Let me open up the slides and then I'll share my screen with you. Okay, will you let me know, someone, if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, then we will go ahead and we will get started. So I'm going to talk to you today about current trends in data analytics and AI. As we talk about the movements and the changes and the evolving emerging risks in higher education today, of course, we think about AI and the impact that it's going to have on both undergraduate education, higher education, and then employment. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the future of data analytics, the impact that will have, the evolving role that would have on you as a data analyst, the future in industry, some recommendations from myself and also from others, and then expected educational requirements to work in this area, and then more specifically, the advantages of the Masters in Business Analytics here at St. John's University in New York. So, of course, we cannot talk about the future of data analytics without talking about AI. As I speak at conferences around the globe, AI is the hottest topic. It is always the most crowded sessions. And we were just at a session in November in Arizona, and every session that mentioned AI was certainly the most packed with the most participants. So everyone's concerned about it. We do need to recognize it. We need to investigate it. We need to include it in the curriculum. Also, a future trend is real-time data analysis. What do I mean by that? The need for information has become so great. People are wanting the information immediately. And so there's less patience for models to take a longer time to give a response. And so there's a need for speed in computing. More user-friendly tools. That is happening because there is a broader use of AI tools by non-AI specific educated individuals. So what do I mean by that? Folks with MBAs, a general MBA, folks with a master's perhaps in marketing, marketing intelligence or risk management or operations or finance or accounting might also have to use some more advanced data analytic tools. And so what's happening is the software is becoming even more user-friendly than it is already. And I actually believe it's very user-friendly compared to 20 years ago when we all had to do our own programming. But the trend is to become even more user-friendly. Cloud-based analytics, we all know about cloud computing. More and more information is getting stored in the cloud. Using the cloud increases your power. And then considerations, and I will speak about this later as well. With the increase in the accessibility of data and models to the general public and the general consumer, ethical behavior, ethical use of data, ethical sharing of data has really taken a front seat. And so as educators and certainly as users of data, which should be all of us, we need to pay specific attention to ethics. And then domain specialization. And what we mean by that is, and I will talk more about this soon, is that we need to have knowledge that is specific to the industry where we are applying our tools. So impact on data analysts. We do see a shifting skill set. What do I mean by that? The curriculum that we have today, I do not believe looks like the curriculum we had 15 years ago, or maybe even 10 years ago. So we're constantly developing, launching new courses, new minors, new certificates, and new degree programs. So we really need to make sure that our data analysts, whom we're educating, are developing skills in AI, in data visualization, in machine learning, in LLMs, and certainly in ethical behavior, and then in communication. Teamwork, I don't think this is new. I think this is ongoing. We really need to work together with our teammates, with our peers, with our colleagues. We all know that problem solving is much easier if done as a team, and we utilize everyone's strengths, and that will continue into the future. Certainly, there's going to be a higher demand for data analysts. Uh, I can think of one example 20 years ago when we would teach marketing. There really was not the emphasis on digital marketing that we see today. There was not the emphasis on data analysis that we see today. So one can really not get a marketing degree to get today without an in-depth knowledge of data analytics. It's just not possible. You really need that to get employed. And so in addition to our masters in business analytics, we also offer a master's in marketing intelligence, and that I would highly recommend to anyone interested in the field of marketing. And you'll see here, there's a higher demand for data analysts in healthcare, in medicine, right? Bioinformatics, biostatistics, biomedical engineering, in finance. We do offer actually a degree in at the undergraduate level in financial mathematics. And then, of course, marketing, I've already mentioned marketing intelligence. So what will we need to do, or you need to do in the future as a data analyst? Almost everything now is integrated with AI. And what do I mean by that? We have many courses where AI is a special topic for discussion. And then we're constantly adding new courses in AI. We're actually hiring 2 new faculty this year, and one will specifically have done research in the field of AI and be developing and launching new courses in the area of AI. And that is, we also offer hybrid online and in-person courses. I'll say more about that later. There will be an increased role in governance and ethics for the data analyst. I've already referenced that. It's very important to understand the federal regulations, Europe and Africa and Asia, and then Latin America and North America. We all have slightly different regulations when it comes to governing data and how we can share data. And it's important to have an understanding of that. We do need to work across functional units. I work frequently with colleagues in other disciplines, in finance and accounting and marketing and operations, in management and in risk management and insurance, and that will continue. And so as you get employed in a firm, you would probably be asked to work with others in other functional units, whether that be human resources, or whether that be operations, or the financial unit, or the marketing unit, or branding unit of your firm. We will be asked to drive business strategy. We, of course, will be asked to use our data and the model output from our models in making decisions. And we will constantly be asked to consider new ideas, new techniques, new skills, new concepts. And so we really need to be in a continuous learning mode and support innovation in whatever discipline we're hired, or whatever functional unit of the firm we're hired into. And that leads into the final bullet, that AI and analytics, as I mentioned, is now pervasive across every discipline. I cannot think of a discipline that does not require at least a foundational, solid understanding of analytics. And so if we're in a social science or a behavioral science, medicine, nursing, environmental science, sociology, anthropology, economics, of course, not only do we need to understand the analytical skills and concepts, But then we really need to understand the needs of the consumer, the needs of the client. So if our client is a medical doctor, if our client is a nursing team or an emergency medicine team, or an anthropologist or sociologist, we are really going to need to dig deep and understand what the client needs from us. And that may mean understanding the basics of another discipline. So future in the industry is data analysts are going to be needed in every single sector: finance, healthcare, medicine, technology, retail, marketing, e-commerce, even the government. At least government officials should not be making decisions without being informed and having those decisions based on data. And so there are units in the government that are responsible for collecting data, certainly demographic data, conducting the census every 10 years, at least in North America. But understanding demographic data, of course, is important if you are developing a product, if you're launching a new product, if you're trying to figure out who your target market is. You need to understand demographics. And that will, of course, depend on the geographical location of where you're launching and marketing that product. So there's a lot involved. We will see 28% annual job growth in data analytics by 2026, and 11.5 million new jobs are expected in data science also by 2026. So the job growth and the opportunity and the potential is enormous. 79% of corporate strategists say that AI technology will be critical in the next 2 years. Of course, we're already there. We're in 2025 now. That was a quote from 23. 96% of companies hiring in 24 say that candidates with AI skills will be at an advantage. So it is certainly advantageous for you to make yourself more employable, more marketable, to become knowledgeable in data science, data analytics, digital marketing, financial analytics, and relate it to your discipline. 40% of those surveyed expected an annual growth in the global AI market by 2028, projected to be $1 trillion. So that's really, as I said, the growth is enormous, and that's expected to continue to grow. So what are my recommendations for you, as assuming that you're in the job market, as we think about data analytics, data science, and AI? I would recommend advancing your education, and others recommend it as well. That can come in the form of certificates. Could be a non-credit bearing certificate, could be a credit bearing certificate. Certificates have the advantage of being shorter, less time consuming, and generally you can complete a certificate in 6 months. Many institutions, including St. John's, we allow the credit from your certificate to be applied to either your MBA or your master's program. So often, if an individual's not sure or confident of the direction of their higher education, we would recommend that you maybe start with a certificate. And if you like the area of analytics, then you can continue on to an MBA or a master's in data analytics or marketing intelligence. We do also recommend that you gain practical experience. How do you do that? If you're currently employed, you sign up for projects, you volunteer, you conduct research with a colleague, with a peer, or for your firm. Certainly as part of your educational experience, we would expect that you have at least one project-based course. Maybe you volunteer to join a summer research project. We have a very vibrant and active summer research program where students can conduct research with faculty. We also recommend internships with firms. We place hundreds of students every year in internships, and we would recommend that you take advantage of the internship program. Stay updated with industry trends. Now, you're here, you're listening to this talk, so you can check that box because you're already staying on top of industry trends, because that's what this talk is about. And so, I congratulate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to call into this talk, and understand that data analytics and artificial intelligence are incredibly important, and they're gaining in importance every single day. Network with your peers, network with colleagues. If we offer, I know Amber's going to hold I think a Q&A session after this. I would say when you have the opportunity to attend any type of a graduate program orientation or a fair or information program or panel, I recommend that you join. And I'm sure that Amber will give you some information about how to gain more information about our programs, and even virtually, as long as they're synchronized, you can network with the folks online. Master your soft skills. It's very, very important if you want to advance in actually, I would say, any industry, in education, in business, in nursing, in medicine, in finance, and marketing, even as an entrepreneur. It's very important that you know how to sell your product. You know how to recruit clients and also hire new employees. So communication's important, both written and verbal, along with improving your ability to work as part of a team. The act of persuasion, the act of negotiation. If you have the opportunity to take a course in negotiation, I would recommend you do so. I think it's incredibly powerful, and it's a skill that translates across all fields. And then seek feedback and mentorship and coaching. That could be in the form of a peer. It could be in the form of a colleague at work. It could be in the form of anyone that you might, for example, on this call, or at a symposium, or at a workshop, or at a professional meeting. I'm still constantly seeking advice and feedback, and calling other deans and calling other leaders, and talking to faculty as they walk down the hall. So it's very important to seek advice and feedback, and mentorship and coaching. I think any stage that we're in, that's important. So educational requirements for data analytics. Required for sure is some kind of an undergraduate degree in a related field. Could be business, could be statistics, could be mathematics, could be computer science, could be information technology or information systems, could be economics, could be engineering, it could be operations, it could be marketing research, it could be bioinformatics or biostatistics. Really anything that has some sort of a quantitative component to it, I would say is of course, my degree's in engineering, so I really recommend anything that's quantitative that can help further your understanding of analytics. What is recommended but not required would be then a higher level degree. That would be a master's in data science, potentially, or in analytics. As I've said, we offer a master's in business analytics. We also offer a master's in marketing intelligence. You could get your master's in computer science or engineering, or an MBA with a quantitative concentration in any of the fields that I've mentioned. We have numerous concentrations in our MBA. Students are even allowed to have 2 concentrations if they take a few more courses. We do offer a STEM MBA, which is helpful to international students, and I know Amber can say more about that, but it does help international students. You can stay in the US longer if you do get your degree in a STEM field. And so we offer a STEM MBA. And I'm going to talk a little bit more specifically about the St. John's University program. We do offer this master's in business analytics in a hybrid version. We offer it completely in person. If you are fortunate to move to the United States, we also offer it in a hybrid version versus face-to-face, and then an online version. You would meet with a faculty member with your laptop. And what I like for an opportunity for teamwork and networking, because you get to know the other students in the class. So I recommend the synchronized online version if you have the choice. We do offer asynchronous online courses, and those are where you can work at your own pace. You can work you work on your own, but you have direct communication with the faculty member. The faculty member will hold online office hours that you can join. Often the faculty member will also hold online group sessions, even for an asynchronous course, so you would still have an opportunity to meet your fellow classmates and also perhaps work on some group work. So we have both asynchronous courses where you are working on your own with some shorter sessions with the faculty member. We have synchronous courses where you are all meeting at the same time with the faculty member online, and then we do have face-to-face and we have hybrid. So I think we have something for everyone. In the first year, our master's program consists of business analytics, some spreadsheet modeling, where you'll learn some different programming, big data and data mining, and then an applied computer language. That's really an information systems course. That's 15 credits. So that's generally what you would take during your first year. Of software. So some of these may sound familiar to you. In the courses, then we start to use R and Python. So those are the two most common computer languages that you would find in the upper level courses would be R and Python. Some courses might use data. It is a computer language that is preferred by economists. Our marketing faculty sometimes prefer SPSS, so you may see some of that as well. What we hear from industry experts is they understand that the computing world, the technical world is changing so rapidly that what the employers tell us is they're less concerned with the actual language that you know now, and they want to understand that you are interested and motivated to be a continuous learner, because they know that 2 years out, there may be another computer language that they may need you to learn. And so when you interview for a position at a firm, be confident, be motivated, be excited, and demonstrate that you are interested in continuous learning. That's what we hear from employers such as Deloitte, EY, PwC, KPMG, and then many of the big insurance companies such as AIG. In the second year, you would generally take advanced managerial statistics, machine learning. AI is certainly integrated with machine learning. That's the most common place that you would find some AI topics. Bayesian statistics, a little more theoretical. And then we have some data analytics and an information systems course in data management. Now, the first year, those are all required courses. The second year, you would select 2 of those courses for a total of 6 credits. You don't need to take all of them. So I want to point that out. In addition, you would select 2 applied courses from a discipline that most interests you. We offer applied analytics courses in finance, management, marketing, or RMI, which is risk management and insurance. And then we have a capstone course, which absolutely will include AI topics. It is focused, it's very hands-on. It's a lot of teamwork. I know the faculty member who teaches it, and he's terrific. And consulting would be another area in industry that really requires a lot of analytics. And so that is what we discuss in the capstone. It's just past 10 o'clock. I have about 10:05. I'm happy to stop sharing my screen and take questions.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. We will be taking the questions, but towards the end. Before Amber tells us more about Peter J. Tobin College of Business and its programs offerings, let's run our second poll question to understand which program are you all interested in. If we there will be a poll that will pop on your screen for the next 10 seconds. What industry are you most interested in applying data science and analytics to? Just take another 10 to 15 seconds and we will see what the crowd thinks. Okay, we should end the poll now and we should see what the results are. Finance, leading, and technology. That should give you some idea, Amber. So, Amber, over to you. And yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to do another masterclass with Seed, and I appreciate Dr. Sharp and everyone else for joining. My name is Amber Steiger, the Director of Graduate Admission here at St. John's. I am excited to chat with you a little bit about what Tobin has to offer. We also have a lot of different programs, so I'm going to focus mainly on the business school today, but of course, if you have questions on any other programs, I'm happy to address those as well at the end. So why a degree from St. John's? We have small class sizes. You'll see in the next slide, our faculty to student ratio is 16:1. So unlike some of our larger competitors in the area where they have giant lecture halls with 200, 300, 400 students, our classrooms max out at anywhere from 25 to 30 students, depending upon where you are. So you really do get to know all of the students in your class, as well as your professors, which makes that networking aspect that Dr. Sharp talked about a little bit easier when you're not one of a few hundred. We have several rankings, many that are not listed here, but specific to the business program. We're 33rd in our part-time MBA, 17 in our online MBA from Fortune. We were also just ranked number 39 for our online master's program for US News. We have our curriculums endorsed by really all of the relevant professional organizations. So what does that mean? That the professional organizations that specialize in these fields have come out and endorsed our curriculums to say that they are applicable to the industry. So an example of that is our School of Risk Management and Actuarial Science is a global center of insurance excellence by the International Insurance Society. Less than 40 programs have that designation. We're also a center of actuarial excellence, and we have a gold level recognition by the Casualty Actuary Society. So similarly, most of our programs have a similar endorsement. We also are doubly AACSB accredited, which is unique in that we're only one of 6 in New York that have that distinction, and that is the best accreditation that business schools can receive in the US. So we have 3 campuses, if you include online. Our Queens campus is located about 30 minutes from Manhattan. This is your typical US campus that you see in the movies. It's a 102-acre big campus with residence halls, big lawns, state-of-the-art facilities, academic buildings, and of course our sports arenas. Then we also have the Manhattan campus, which the front door is behind me on the screen and also on your screen. It's in Greenwich Village, one square building that is very close to NYU, to Cooper Union, big student center area, and very accessible to the industries. So a lot of our professional students choose to do the Manhattan campus because it's close to where they're working. We also have online courses. As Dr. Sharp mentioned, the nice thing about these campus options is that you really have the option to make it the degree that you'd like and make the location yours. So if, say, for example, you apply first as a Queens student because you want to be on the main campus and get a feel for what this environment is like, you're able to do that. And then say your second semester, you gain an internship in the city and it's easier to take classes in Manhattan. We have a lot of course offerings between all of the campuses, and so it's easy to make your courses a little bit more diverse in terms of your location so that you can experience both of the campuses and what they have to offer. Some quick statistics on the university as a whole. We have just over 3,000 graduate students who are represented by 44 states and 119 countries. We have a very, very diverse student body, which is something we're extremely proud of. We are also 17 Division I sports. You may have heard of our basketball team. They are having their best season in 40 years this year, and we're looking to be in March Madness tournament next month. So we're very excited about that. If you don't know, our basketball team also plays their Big East tournaments at Madison Square Garden, which is where the New York Knicks play. It's really, really exciting to be a student and be at those games, especially when we're doing as well as we are this year. We have 180 plus student organizations on campus, which are open to our graduate students, and we have 198,000 living alumni. I mention this because our alumni are Johnnies at heart. They are Johnnies for life, and they are invested in the St. John's community and our current students. We constantly are hearing from students who are second, third, fourth generation St. John's students. We constantly have families that have 2 or 3 siblings that are attending St. John's at the same time. And those who have graduated from St. John's understand the strength of a St. John's education and want to hire fellow St. John's students. So it's not uncommon to see our alumni at our career and internship fairs looking specifically to hire some of our graduates. As I mentioned before, we do have a plethora of graduate options. So there's over 65 graduate degree programs. I'm happy to answer questions about many of those, but for today, I'm going to focus on the business school. So within the MBA, as Dr. Sharp mentioned earlier, we have 18 different concentrations. We also have the STEM MBA, an accounting MBA, 10 different MS programs, and then 6 advanced certificates, which I will quickly go through. So these are the options within the MBA. All of them are available online and on campus. As Dr. Sharp mentioned, you can select 1 concentration when you're applying. You can do 2 concentrations, or as I'll mention in a second, you can also do the STEM MBA. The MBA program has a curriculum that's a little bit different to the MS's in that students take 9 core business classes, and then they take 3 concentrations within their concentration. So if you are someone who doesn't have a business background, or maybe has been out of school for a while, or is looking to really make that next step into your career into the C-suite, the MBA may be the program for you. Or if you're looking for a deeper dive into one subject area, the MS is probably more applicable. And that's something that, of course, myself or my team can work out with you throughout the application process. For the STEM MBA, you pick 2 concentrations within this list of 7 of the concentrations. And this is a 45 credit MBA program that focuses more on the STEM skills so that you can then hopefully extend your OPT or CPT once you graduate and find a relevant position. Our MS degrees are also listed here. Those with an asterisk are offered exclusively online as well. So if you wanted to stay home and do your degree, or if you wanted to start your degree online and then come to the US at a later point, you can also do that. And then as you can see, many of these also are STEM designated programs to extend your OPT and CPT as well. Finally, we have our advanced certificates. I think Dr. Sharp did a good job of explaining what these are. We usually say that they're about half of either an MBA or an MS. So if you're not sure if you want to commit to a 30, 36, 45 credit program, advanced certificate may be for you. And we can certainly talk about those options as well. In terms of the application requirements, we do require you to submit the application itself. Everyone who attended today does receive an application fee waiver, so you don't need to submit the $70 fee waiver. You should automatically receive that after being a participant. We then require 1 letter of recommendation from a professional or academic source, your statement of professional goals, which should be 1 to 2 pages explaining your educational and professional background, why you're choosing to pursue this degree, what you're hoping to get out of it. And we always like to hear a little bit about why St. John's specifically. We also look for your resume and transcripts from all of your institutions that you've attended post high school. If you have a GMAT or a GRE, we would love to see that. If it's above 315 on the GRE or above a 550 on the GMAT, that will certainly help in terms of scholarship selection and GA selection if you have a high test score, but we do not require it. So if you have not taken the exam yet or you didn't score as high as you like, go ahead and submit the application without those test scores, and we're happy to review you without them. For our international applicants, which I'm assuming all of you are, we do require the TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, or Pearson test. Please upload those in addition to your application requirements. And then we also require a course-by-course foreign credit evaluation by a NACES member with a GPA calculation. This helps to ensure that everybody is applying on an equal playing field, that everyone has the equivalent of a bachelor's degree in the US, and that we can easily convert your GPA to be considered for admission, and then also scholarship criteria. Some of the student services I wanted to chat about is our career development. These are some of the services that I'll go into on the next slide. We also have global destination courses that really set our graduate programs apart. It's very rare for graduate students to have a study abroad experience. It's about 3% of students who get to add that to their resume and have that international experience. So it's something that our students are really proud of, to be able to enhance their academic curriculum with some real world experience that's outside of the US. We also offer different aspects of financial support. So at the time of your application review, we will consider you for merit scholarships based on your undergraduate GPA. We also have a work experience scholarship within the business school. And then there are specific dean scholarships and department scholarships based on your application, and then also which program you're applying to. So for the merit and professional scholarships, you'll be notified of those at admission inside your admission letter. And then for the dean scholarships and the department scholarships, you'll be contacted directly by the associate deans if you have been awarded one of those. We also have the Alati and the Zurich fellowships, which are options for our students applying to the School of Risk Management, Actuarial Science. And finally, we do offer graduate assistantships. These are very competitive positions as they do provide a full tuition waiver and a stipend. So I do always recommend that if you are hoping to get a GA position, that you apply and complete your application as soon as possible, because they are awarded on a first come, first served basis. So to discuss the career development a little bit more, all of our enrolled students have access to their career advisors. We also just hired a career advisor who is specific to graduate students. So not only do you have a career advisor within your college who knows about the business field and all of the networking events happening specific to the Tobin College of Business, you also have an advisor who is specifically focusing in on graduate students and the skills that graduate students need in terms of networking and career advancement that may be a little bit different from our undergraduate needs. So this lists a lot of the different resources that are available to our enrolled students. Some of the things that I'd like to highlight are the part-time or mini internships, which are available to all of our students to apply to online. And these can be as little as 5 to 40 hours, where once you're selected, you're able to help out a company with a smaller internship to get a feel for the industry, and then also to, of course, build your resume. We also have, as I alluded to earlier, our career and internship fairs. You can see in the picture here how many hundreds and not thousands of people are in the Taftner Fieldhouse on those days. They are huge events. We also have the Alumni Mentor Network, which is for current students to touch base with our alumni who are working either in the field or in the area that you would like to work in, so that they can help walk you through what that process looks like of getting into the industry and being successful. All right, I think I did a good job of doing that pretty quickly. So these are our contact information here. This is our email address and our phone number. The QR codes are also if you'd like to follow us on social media or submit a inquiry form. And then we also have the link to apply.
Thank you, Amber. That was really insightful, and you did it very quickly and very nicely. Dr. Sharp, can you hear me?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so let's dive into some of the questions that we have received. Before I take up any question, I have a question myself for you. As data science and analytics grow in importance, what skill sets do you think will be essential for professionals to stay competitive in the job market?
So I think learning a few computer languages is key. I know I said that employers they're not as particular about which computer languages you know, but it's good to have one or two under your belt to show that you're capable of learning computer languages. I think too, of course, modeling, any modeling techniques that you can pick up, and then finally machine learning is really the way of the future, and that's where we most closely integrate with AI topics is in the field of machine learning.
Okay, all right. Prachi has a question. She is asking, wanted to know how does data analytics slash AI fit well in the field of education or NGOs working on ground with literacy? If you can throw some light on that.
Sure. So first, if you're working in that area, I think that's terrific. It's a very critical, important area as we look at issues around the globe, and any type of literacy, language literacy, financial literacy is critical. I think anything is going to be driven by data, right? Understanding where the individuals are, how to reach them. Do they have access to medicine? Do they have access to education? What are their challenges? Do you need to conduct a survey? Do you need to conduct a personal interview? So even if you are interviewing individuals, whether that is through a verbal interview or a written interview or a telephone interview, that's still data. We call that qualitative data. And there is a way to translate qualitative data into quantitative data and then use that to make decisions. So even if you're conducting interviews or you're teaching, data is critical.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Amber, there's a question for you. What specific qualities and experiences does the admissions committee look for in applicants to the MS in Business Analytics program?
This is actually a great question for Dr. Sharp, as she is the program director for the program. So I'll throw it back over to her.
So I mean, we work together with Amber's office. We certainly do look at your assuming that you're asking about the graduate program, we look at your
Yes.
undergraduate degrees. We look at where you obtained your degree, how you did in your education. We even dig deep into the transcript and we look to see if you've had at least one quantitative course. It could be economics, it could be statistics, it could be marketing research, it could be computer science course, but we do look for at least one analytics course or a quantitative course in your undergraduate program. And beyond that, we're looking for interest. I think most students will write a letter of interest explaining why they're interested in the program. And so as applications come to me, those are things I look for. But Amber, you might want to expand on some other requirements that your office has.
I can certainly speak to the academic requirements. So for the applications, we obviously looking for completed applications. All of the materials I mentioned before, we need all of those in order to review an application for a decision. I did see a question about the foreign credit evaluation. Unfortunately, that can't be waived as that is a mandatory part of the review process. What we're looking for on our end is at least a 3.0 out of a 4.0 GPA, although obviously we're also looking into your quantitative courses and those applicable to the degree as well, as Dr. Sharp mentioned. Within the essay, we're looking for your educational professional history, why you think that this degree is a good fit. And we do find that oftentimes students aren't sure, right? There's a lot of information out there about a lot of degrees. And so for us, we often see students will apply for an MS and an MBA and not be sure what the difference is or what is the best fit for them. And so my biggest recommendation there is to take advantage of your admissions counselors and what we do. And we are there to help answer those questions. So I'll also put a link in the chat where you're able to schedule an appointment with one of our admission counselors so that they can talk to you about the differences in the programs and which may be the best fit for you based on your career goals.
All right. There is a follow-up question because it is MS Data Analytics program. Is GMAT or GRE compulsory for this program?
No. So we don't require a GMAT or GRE for any of the programs within the business school. If a student has a strong score and they've already taken the exam, that can certainly help their application. So generally what we look for is at least a 315 on the GRE or a 550 on the GMAT. Because we are test optional, if you do have scores and they are not at that level, please don't submit them, because we don't want that to hurt your chances of being admitted if they're not required. So if you have questions on whether or not your score will help your application, you can always direct that to my team as well, and we can let you know. But certainly if you do have a strong score, we recommend that you do include that with your application, because it will help in terms of increasing your chances for acceptance and also increasing your chances for a scholarship.
That's great, and that answers another question somebody asked about scholarships and funding. So you've answered that. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharp. There's a question for you. In the world where automation models are present for data analysis in several companies, where does the student, especially a fresher, fall like in this arena? You're on mute. Sorry.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
In the world where automation models are present for data analysis in several companies, where does a student, especially a fresher, just do the data analysis like fall to?
So I think your question is where a lot of the models are automated.
Yeah.
Where would data analytics play a role? I would say that would be in the interpretation of the output. So even if we're relying on automated models and we're not writing the code or we're not generating the models, if we have another functional unit that's doing that, or if they're automated, anytime that data is handed to us, could be a spreadsheet, could be a graph, could be any sort of modeling output, we need to know enough to interpret the data and understand what are the data telling us and how do we interpret the data, and then how do we communicate the results to the client, to others, to our supervisor. So even if we're not writing the code or generating the models, we still need to interpret the output.
All right. Thank you for that. There's a candidate called Samir. He is currently doing his bachelor's in data science from IIT Madras in India. He's asking if you can guide him on how can he make his career to become a data scientist, because he's doing it online. So what is the way ahead for him?
So if you're doing it online, I hope that you're still meeting some of the faculty in your online program. And I would still try to network with the faculty that you're meeting online. And I would also look for a mentor or a coach or an advisor. And I would reach out to the advisor or your mentor and ask some key questions. Ask for regular meetings, develop a relationship with your advisor. I think that both of those are very important. And then, of course, if you have some sort of a career center with the program, I don't know, you're following the program online, but perhaps they offer some sort of career coaching or career networking or career advice. So I would use that. And then, of course, I'm going to recommend that you apply to the Masters in Analytics or the MBA program at St. John's.
St. John's. Dr. Sharp and Amber, a question for you both. What about students who don't come from this industry, like who are from, let's say, different backgrounds and want to enter into data analytics or data science? Let's say even a civil engineer for that matter. How do they come into this picture, and how can they take their future forward when it comes to this field?
That's really easy, especially for any sort of an engineer. Anyone with any sort of quantitative background, you're probably already doing some analytics. Certainly in engineering, you're doing some modeling and you're doing some analytics. So that one's pretty easy. We do have students right now in my MBA class. I have several students who are pursuing a joint JD, which is a law degree, and an MBA here at St. John's. These students typically are not coming from quantitative backgrounds. they're coming from sociology or psychology, or they may have even have been a political science or a history major before entering our law school here. And so I work with them in the class, and they learn the necessary quantitative skills they need to in the introductory course, and they catch
Mhm.
up pretty quickly. And then they move on from there and they build on their studies. So I would say from just about anybody with any background, as long as you're motivated to learn the necessary quantitative modeling skills, you can do it.
All right, that's a good tip. Also, Dr. Sharp, do you believe the future of data science lies more in automation and AI, or is there still a significant role for human expertise in interpreting and making decisions from data?
Oh, both. Absolutely. I mean, and it may be different, right? Those individuals who are really going to pursue AI and coding, it's more of a computer science approach.
Mhm.
However, those of us who are maybe applying our skills in finance or accounting or marketing intelligence or risk management, we absolutely are consumers of data. We're using data, and there the skill set that's important is interpreting the data, knowing
Mhm.
what to ask for, and then being able to communicate the results, whether we're communicating it to nurses or medical doctors or educators or
Mhm.
researchers or those in the government. We absolutely must be able to interpret the data and then be able to communicate it.
All right. Amber, there's someone who's not able to find the class profile of the MBA program of Peter Tobin College online anywhere. If you can throw some light on that.
Class profile in terms of GPA coming in terms of demographics, and include just in general.
Yeah, in general, this class profile of the MBA program.
Sure. So I'll say that that varies significantly from St. John's to some other MBA programs, and that about half of our students are coming directly from undergrad. That does set a lot of our programs apart, and that we do not require work experience. So about half are coming from undergrad, about half are have been in the industry a little bit more. And as I talked about before, a lot of our applicants who are going into the MBA program do not have a business background. So those are the folks who are looking for a career pivot, who were history or political science majors, English majors, and then decided that they either would like the MBA to move into the business world or to move up in the industries that they're in. GPAs range. Generally, we're looking for students who are above a 3.25, but again, having that GMAT or GRE can help if your GPA is a little bit lower than that. And if you're not sure what your GPA is on the 4.0 scale, that's part of the reason why we're looking for the foreign credit evaluation, because that will help put your GPA on that 4.0 scale so we can evaluate everyone equitably.
Okay. Okay. And are there any leadership opportunities on campus that are provided? Does St. John's University provide incubation for startup ideas which graduate students can look to build?
Absolutely. So we have our down in the first floor of the business school, we actually have our analytics lab, which has the Bloomberg terminals, and is a wonderful resource for all of our students, whether you're in finance or analytics or not. And then next to that is our VIC, which is our innovation hub, and that's open to everybody on campus, regardless of major. So we have students who have non-business backgrounds who are able to go there and work with the faculty and the program leaders on their business ideas and their startups. They have usually every week someone coming in, whether they're part of the St. John's community, whether they're an alumni, coming in to talk about their entrepreneurial experience, what they found to be successful, what helped them in kind of catapulting their career, and also giving a good perspective on what it actually looks like. I think a lot of times we hear these incredible stories of entrepreneurs who, are catapulted into incredible stories. And while that's certainly possible, I think that having these speakers come in also provide a more realistic approach of what's required in order to be successful, some of those soft and hard skills that they've learned, that we hope our students.
I think we lost Amber, are you here?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Can you all hear
We
me?
lo- I think we lost you for a second. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
I don't know where I cut off and what I was saying, but hopefully you got the gist, or I can repeat it either
Yes.
way.
No, we did. I think I will just conclude this session now, and I will just ask Dr. Sharp for one tip that you would give people who are like to someone who's just starting their career in this field and breaking into data science.
Sure. So I would say keep on top of industry trends and educational trends in analytics. Always be interested in continuous learning. And so even if you don't have time to take the time out for a complete degree, consider a certificate and continue your education in that way, because it's very important. This is just a field that is constantly evolving and changing, and it's important to be continuously learning.
All right. And Amber, do you want to say something about the application deadline, and do you want to conclude something about the admissions?
Absolutely. So just wanted to say again, thank you to everyone for joining. We have wonderful applicants from SEED, and they've been some of our most successful international students. I just added in the chat our link to apply, and then also our best contact for the email address if you'd like to send any follow-up questions or meet with an admission counselor. We are on rolling admission for fall 25, but I will say that because our scholarships are first come, first serve, and given kind of the uncertainty right now around any changes to the visa process, I would recommend applying sooner rather than later if you're looking for fall 25 entry. Our recommended deadline for that is March 1st.
That is very helpful. As we wrap up today's masterclass, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us and engaging in this insightful session. We hope you've gained a deeper understanding of the evolving landscape of data science, analytics, and AI, and how these advancements are shaping industries. Special thanks to our panelists, Dr. Sharp and Amber, for sharing their valuable expertise and experience with us. We look forward to seeing how you all will apply these insights in your own professional journeys. Thank you again, and we hope to connect with you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.